Blackstone presents What Hunts Inside the Shadows by Adelaide Forrest, writing as Harper L. Woods. This book is read by Ava Lucas and Liam Dicosimo. Prologue. Caldris. My soul had split, half of it consumed by the panic coursing through my veins, the fear that I knew logically did not belong to me but was hers. The other half of my very being, whom I had felt as the phantom whisper of a caress along my skin through torturous centuries of waiting. Terror, like she'd never known, possessed her, driving her forward with every step. I couldn't see past the blinding fear that overwhelmed the bond, couldn't use it to track her down and offer her the sanctuary she needed. I spun in place, trying to anchor myself in her reality to get my bearings. All I could glean from her were flashes of trees and her scent lingering in the air surrounding me. With the ghostly imagery of woods at the sides of my vision, I paused for a moment to search for any sign of her passage, to prepare for what might wait for me when I found my way to the mate who needed my protection. The village of Mistfell hadn't changed for the better in our centuries apart. There had been no development beyond the improvement of both the looming structure of the manor and the barracks that housed the Mist Guard. If anything, the village itself had fallen into disrepair in the centuries since I'd last crossed over the boundary, as if the income disparity between the wealthy allies of the crown and the destitute had grown ever worse in our absence. I wished I could say it was a distinctly human custom to allow some to suffer in misery, while others possessed riches beyond their needs. But that was a problem that united our races in misfortune. On another day, in another time, I might have felt sympathy for the people of Mistfell, but this village was where my mate had nearly died, a downtrodden hellhole with nothing to offer to the mate of a god, to the mate of a prince of gods. The mist bled out from the boundary, clinging to earth from which the humans had been formed and masking the filth they lived in. I walked across the stones lining the main street through town, moving away from the gardens where I felt the presence of my mate the strongest. As a man stepped out of the shadows between buildings, a tang of iron hanging in the air as he thrust his sword toward my heart, all I could think was, this was such a waste of time. I'd had centuries of time wasted by the gods' damned veil keeping us apart. My patience had worn thin. I pinned the man to the side of one of the ramshackle buildings along the main street, my fingers wrapped around his throat.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?